Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and tonight we are scrapping live from the Easy Spring Pock-Velope album, or the Easy Spring album, whatever you want to call it. It's a pocket envelope album. Wow, this string is long. Where did you come from? Some of these strings. There we go. All right, everybody is more tidied up. Okay, so what we did in the afternoon class and in the last video is we started matting all the inserts. So at the end of last week, we did all the construction on the inserts. We don't have enough time left in tonight's class to do the next set of 2 without going way over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to skip ahead and do the last one, because these 2, it'll help to do them together to make sure everything, you know, blends back and forth across the 2 pages. So we'll do these at the beginning of next week, and right now we'll work on this one. So, progress. All right, so we're going to start with chomping our tag. Let's start there. So I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers large angle punch. I have the white one, which is the large angle on one side and the small angle on the other. And I'm using the large one, and I'm chomping the 2 tags that we designed for the large pocket. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and these 2 are for the, these 2 sets that we have are for the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one to use on this page, this page. And we need it to be 1.5 inches. So this is 3, so I'll just cut it in half. Okay. So we got that already. We still need this to do our tabs and such. All right, so we need, okay, we need 1, 2 photo mats for that. 1, 2, 3, 4 for that. We need 1, 2 for that, and 1, 2 for that. Okay. All right, so that's all our photo mats. So we're just going to start peeling and taping. Anything that can be stuck down at this point, we'll go ahead and stick it down. To help us stay a little bit organized. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with this 4.5 by 6.5 mat, and I'm putting a 4.25 by 6.25 inch piece down. And then this will go in the pocket, and I'm just going to go ahead and close up the pocket because we are done with it for now. All right, then on the large tag, I'm going to peel the tape from another 2 and attach the 2 that go on the bottom on the front and back of the tag. And then we'll set the other 2 to the side until after we're done with our little decorative bit at the top. And by putting this down and then putting the decorative bit at the top, I can then eyeball center the other photo mat in between them, and then I don't have to measure out all the 1/8 of an inch where everything goes. So these go still there. This one, I can stick down the one that goes on the inside of the front cover. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. And then these two, the reason I pulled these out is they're actually what goes on the bottom. So let me go ahead and just tape these and stick them down. Yeah, we've got quite the bright, adorable album going. All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut those apart. So that they're ready to go. So now we just need to pick our patterns of paper to go with what we've got so far. All right. So let us bring our scrap tray. And again, we want to find things that are going to blend well with what we've got going on here already. I do want to use this. Ooh, that's kind of cute. Maybe on that piece. Maybe with these two. We'll see. I'm just going to keep pulling stuff out, see if anything jumps out at me. I'm trying to think of stuff that's going to go well with up there. I think this pink will. So now we just need something wider that will go with the pink. So we've got these photo mats. Oh. We could use, actually, if we use these two, yes, these two. Okay, we'll use those two up at the top. Okay, so we'll use those to do the tags. So what we need is we're going to make this one 6 1/4 and this one 4 1/4, and then we're going to chomp and cut and chomp and cut. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do to be even smarter than last time is I'm going to tape these and then chomp them and then cut them. All right. All right, and so now we're just going to cut these so that a 1/2 inch strip falls off the top of both, and then repeat. All right, there we go. So now we're going to once again tape and chomp. Do-do-do, we did it. All right. I know. Tape then chomp. Tape then chomp. Chomp after taping. All right, and then there, and there. Perfection. All right, so let's go ahead and get these inked and stuck down so we can finish off the tags. And while we're at it, we're gonna put these little bottom bits on. Ink these as well, because that is how we'll finish the tall tags, or the skinny tags. All right. Perfect. Okay. So now let's get everyone stuck down. So let's start with the 1.5" journaling spot on the bottom here. Of course, you don't have to do journaling paper. You can use any pattern paper you like. I just always like to include a few places to do some journaling in every book. All right, and then going to peel this tape. Okay. And then here we go. Okay. And then this one. Okay, so it's tape, chomp, cut, ink, stick, TCIS, pronounced tickus. Remember to tickus. All right, so that one's done. So now we just need to, same kind of process for the other one. Did I ink this? I must have. Tickus, 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 tickus. Okay, other side. The burnishing is fat slab, so it's fold along all the score lines and burnish. So fat slab. So yeah, the burnishing acronym is fat slab. Fold along all the score lines and burnish. So we have fat slab, which is how to do your burnishing properly, and then we have tickus, which is how to do your chomping properly. All right, so now we have these. Oh, look, that is really nice right next to each other with the gray, the wood, that little green that ties down into this section here. And it's not going to stress out anything up here. Just a really nice combination that we just got from like seeing how two scraps were sitting next to each other in a pile. So sometimes it happens like that. All right, so remaining now is this internal bit, this little guy. So we need this pattern paper and this pattern paper, something for the back, and then the two patterns for the front. So the two for the front are the ones that we have to kind of keep in mind what we already have going on here. So maybe I do think that would look cute. Maybe this will be the 4 1/4 inch one. And so then we need something to go next to it. And honestly, I'd be okay with this again. Those two I think would play very nicely together. And we won't have seen them in a while because they're not going to be on this page. We have a whole layout in between them. So those two will be the front. And then, do we have any scraps large enough for the back remaining is the question, because I think we don't. So I think we are going to have to cut something new for the back. Yeah, just going through here, I don't see anything that looks to be 6.5 inches. So we are going to have to cut a new sheet. Wait, I have some larger scraps right here that we're trying to escape. Now, this one we already have on the page, and we have a little bit of what's on the back of it. This is the only one that's big enough, I think, because I don't think this one doesn't feel large enough to me. Yeah, it's not. It's only 6 inches, not quite 6 inches. Now it's just confetti. We could stick it next to each other. We could stick two pieces next to each other if we wanted to. Now for the inside, I like this blue. I even like what's on the back too. So we can use that for both inside bits. So now the only question is, do we want to use this confetti paper? Where'd you come from? Here? Okay, so you came from there. You don't go there. You're from another sheet entirely. What about you? Did you come from here? You did not, I don't think. Are you from over here, mayhaps? No. So do you belong with this one? Weird. Very weird. These two very clearly go together, but this one doesn't go here. So, it probably came from like up here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't fit at all. Okay, well, Okay. Yeah, these, like, you can see. Oh, wow. These are not from the same page either. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But they really don't look like they... Oh, no, they do look like they came from there. Okay. So if you're there and you're there, then this one is here. Just randomly. It's like a random chunk. And so then this is here. Maybe. Except, is it from here? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's from the bottom. So it's not going to give us any extra paper. Because it just repeats something we already have. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Let's try something. Okay, I'm just going to cut a new sheet. We're going to get in the weeds. Let us not get into the weeds. We've got these two and these two. We just need, for the front and the inside, we literally just need something to go on the back. So let's not go crazy trying to save paper in an album where we're not even trying to save paper. There's a sheet in here that has like an airplane on it. Here it is. We can use this, or we've got these little cameras. Should we use the little cameras? Yeah. The little cameras are a little too bright. What about these arrows? Or, I know, I really can't. If I see a camera, I want to use a camera. Let's just go ahead and use the cameras. You're not really going to be looking at the back next to anything else anyway. I know I said I was gonna. Yeah, that's fine. We'll stick with that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna cut a 6 1/4 inch square out of the cameras. All right, so we've got that. And then I'll tell you what I have in mind for these. So I'm going to cut the chevrons to 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And they're going to go on the front with this one, which I'm going to cut down to 6 1/4, and then we'll use the paper trimmer to cut it to 1 1/4. This one I'm going to cut down to 6 1/4. And then I'm going to lose 1 3/4 inches. All right, so here's that, a little stripe for the inside. And then I can cut 2 7/8 inch bits off of that. Okay. And we've got those two to contrast with it. That's nice. The blue and the peach. Quite like that. All right. Then that's scrap. So now we just need to cut this one down to 1 3/4. And I'm going to use the bigger flower. Okay, then we just need something to make our buttons out of. What do I want? Something yellowish. I'm going to go ahead and use this real bright yellow. Well, oh yeah, that'll work. Okay. Okay. Then 3/4 inches around the 1/6. Oh no! It's trying to escape. It's like, you'll never take me alive. I got it. It tried, but it failed. All right. Okay, so I think we now have everything we need for this one. So we can start inking everybody and sticking them down. It was a good attempt. It was. The Great Escape it was not, but it was the meh escape. The mediocre escape. The made-for-TV version. Poorly executed, yeah. Oh, I'm glad she's coming home, Melanie. Good news. All right, and I'm using the Pumice Stone Distress ink, which is the ink that I find works best with the graphite cardstock from the paper mill store. I've been using that for the whole album. Okay. All right, and we did have enough fasteners for the whole project, so we made it, even though I can't find my giant bag of brads, so I'm going to have to track that down. But if not, I'm going to try and find like a place to buy a giant bag of brads like that on eBay or something, so we can all have giant bags of brads, you know? So, oops, I've got to mark my holes. Do-do-do-do. right, and then I'm going to use my 3/16 inch hole punch to punch these holes for the brads. And then yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Fran. We need giant bags of brads to go with our giant bags of grommets. If we can get giant bags of grommets off of eBay, we should be able to get giant bags of brads. I mean, that just seems like it makes sense to me. All right. Do-do-do. Dun-dun. To go with our big boxes of roofing tins. It's so funny because my sister needed a piece of metal for something, and I was like, oh, I have pieces of metal. Just random pieces of metal that exist only for magnets to stick to them. I have exactly what you need. Oh, and Mr. Lifeguard, he has disc plates. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're basically what they are is they're metal display plates. That's display plate. Okay, so that's what they are. They're metal display plates, and you put these magnets on your wall, and then you can put these etched metal plates on, and that's like, it's like a poster. And then if you want to, you can change them. And anyway, his magnets didn't make it, and so he's like, do you have anything that's like a magnet sheet? And I said, do I have anything that's like a magnet sheet? Yeah. The question is not, do I have it, but can you find it? But he did find them. He found my magnet sheets that I put my wafer thin dies on. And I've made myself a little die cutting station. So it's not the most convenient die cutting station in the world because, oh, a hiccup, excuse me. When my Alex drawers are not in use because I'm actively crafting, they roll in front of it because otherwise they block my printer's drawers. So I have to roll the Alex drawer out of the way of it, but I do have a place to roll the Alex drawer, so it's not a big deal. And it's on casters, so it's super easy to do. But it is behind something, but it's its very own. I've got all the dies are in there in one way or another. I just have to get some more coherent storage from them since that's where they're going to be instead of hanging on my wall. So, but you know, I'll get it all sorted out, but it's just been interesting, you know, to figure out all the different ways to hang everything. So, and where everything's going to go. But I'm going to get everything so perfectly organized and compact that, you know, when my sister and her husband do get their own place, because they want to try what their plan is now that we've moved out of, you know, an area where the housing just like went completely nuts to an area where the housing's much more reasonable. You know, with a little bit of savings, they'll be able to get buy their own place as well. So that's their goal now, is to get a place to buy. So when they do that, I'm probably not going to know what to do with all the space in the office, because I'll have gotten everything like so perfect, and then my sister will pack up all her stuff and there'll just be this gaping hole in the floor. Where all her stuff used to be. I'll be like, I'll have to take up yoga, make it a little yoga corner. Something like that. But yeah, there are even houses like in this neighborhood that are in their price range, you know, that are smaller than this one. Because this neighborhood still has a lot of like very, like, you know, starter homes. Well, which is one thing that you didn't see a lot of where we were before, because developers would buy them, knock them down, and then put like the largest house possible for the lot size on it, you know, so that there was not a yard anymore. And I don't really care about yards, as you all know, but I've been reading a lot from the Cool Down, which is a website that talks a lot about people in their neighborhoods and the things they're doing to like make their yards better for the environment instead of, you know, destructive for the environment because they're yards, because that grass is not great for the environment. And one of the things that they mentioned that was super easy to do if you don't have an HOA, now a lot of this stuff is if you have an HOA, you know, good luck or whatever, but we don't. They were talking about how your native pollinators need native plants, specifically, you know, flowers growing in the grass, in order to be totally healthy and to be able to do everything that they need to do to help all your native plants. So like, you know, honeybees that aren't native honeybees, for example, or other native or other pollinators that are in the area for like agricultural reasons or whatever, they don't do as much for the environment as the bees that are supposed to be there and the other pollinators that are supposed to be there, which I thought was really super interesting. And it's probably because they're not attracted to the same kind of plants and stuff. But they were talking about these flowers that you can plant in your grass. And, you know, you have to research the ones for your area. But they make a flower carpet they turn your yard into a flower carpet at the time of year where the pollinators need the nourishment, you know? And they were so pretty. They showed a guy whose yard had them, and they were beautiful. They were these little white bells is what they looked like. They were so pretty. They didn't look anything like, they talked about like dandelions, and they said that dandelions are invasive or whatever, so they don't actually do they're not going to help your native pollinators or whatever. So you know, if you have dandelions in your yard, that's not kind of solving the problem or whatever. So that was really interesting to learn about. So now I'm trying to convince Mr. Lifeguard to make a flower carpet. So we'll see how I get on with that. And the other thing is, we also learned that there are a couple varieties of apples that have been bred to not need as many cool days that can grow in our zone. So maybe we'll look into that, but what we probably will do is we'll just do peaches. And I don't remember who it was that said that pine cones are good mulch for strawberry bushes, but I totally love the idea of berry bushes. So, and Damien said that that we would have no trouble keeping a strawberry bush alive, and we could just buy a bush that's already ready to make strawberries. So we're going to look into stuff like that for the next growing season or whatever. But in the meantime, oh my gosh, another cute page. How cute is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we did it. We got over half the book done. We did 4 of the inserts today. So now we just have this left, and then we'll do our embellishment pass and our front and back covers. But we are in great shape, everyone. Great shape. Yes. Absolutely. So that is, I'm just going to say we all deserve pats on our backs. Pats on our backs. Okay. So that is going to be it for me tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. I'm enjoying this project so much. It's been so much fun to make something that is so bright and colorful and fun, and that uses older papers like this. So maybe we'll see what we will do with other projects in the future. But thank you so much for joining me, everyone. For those of you who are watching live, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. If you're watching in the archives, thank you so much for joining me this week. I'll see you next week. And for those of you watching on the YouTube, just keep an eye out on the playlist for the rest of the videos in this series. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next week, 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time on Thursday, May 18th. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.